Welcome to Never Far. Welcome back. Sorry we're late, but sometimes late is to be great. Sometimes, obviously, you guys know what time it is. It's the big weekend. Obviously, Arsenal versus Man City today. You've got Brighton versus Liverpool, and you've got West Ham versus Newcastle. I know you're going to want us to dive into the Arsenal game straight away, but to be fair, I'm going to actually let Specs run with the Newcastle thing. The reason is, for 10 minutes, is that he's going to the game today, people. So I think it's good that we let him have his thoughts. He's waited to jump on, and then we can, when he dips out, then we'll go into the Arsenal game and all that. But guys, make sure you smash a like and everything, as always. Big up George, obviously, Don in the building, Rums, Specs, everyone. What you say, man? You bless, yeah?
Yeah, man, big up. All blessed. Top of the table.
George, I was going to say, George, you can run it. You're blessed.
Just saying, it looks like we might be going 2 weeks to sit at the top of the table for an international break. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed.
Enjoy that whilst it lasts, my G. Enjoy that whilst it lasts. We all know how it ends for Spurs, isn't it?
Man, have got 3 wins in a row, and they think they're up there with us again.
I was just about to say. Done it, smack it.
You know, Don's forgot that like the 9-game run's about to come. Like they got their 3 wins just in time because they're about to have like 5 in a row straight L's. So.
Don't worry, we'll get into that.
Yeah. I love that. George, I'm not the guy. That was sharp from you, though. 3 wins in a row. Man thinks he's back on the top for that. I love it.
That was sweet.
Big up everyone. Make sure you smash the like and that. Big up the stuff for everyone in the comments as well. Kyle and that. Tottenham got lucky yesterday and United. Your mic sounding choppy. Oh, what? Mine, Lanzo. I got to get a new one. Let me know.
That time, bro. It wasn't even me that time.
Nah, yours is doing it, but I've heard.
Nah, yours is finished, Max.
Yeah. Is mine moving all right, man? Is mine moving all right?
I can hear some cracking.
Yeah.
Yours is calm, Ty. I think yours is calm.
Wait, Ty, mute yourself for a sec. Hold on.
That was when Specs talks, he's got a crackle, but I might have one.
Yeah, it's gone.
No, mine.
Yeah,
it's gone.
I took my thing off, bro.
Yeah, Specs. Specs.
No, it's still there.
Yeah. Hey, West Ham are messing with your connection, big man. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Specs, I can still work out what you're saying. Land about the game today, because obviously before we get into the Arsenal thing and everything, you're taking on West Ham. Last year you went, because I remember you messaged me and you packed them up. I think Wilson scored 2. It was like 4-5-1. Yeah, 5-1. You got done your business. The way West Ham has started this season, obviously Rice has gone, Alvarez in there now. They've got Ward-Prowse, set piece, threat and all that. Kudus, I think, is going to start because I don't think Antonio's going to make it. So that's going to be an interesting thing for him as well. What are your thoughts going into today, man? Because obviously you're just coming off that 4-0, something over PSG, 4-1.
4-1, yeah. I'm still buzzing, bro. I'm still trying to embrace that moment, man. That was, bro, one of the best nights of like watching Newcastle since I supported them, bro. But so going into this one, it's more of a mentality thing and a focus thing, bro, because obviously all that hype and just that energy alone, and it's probably draining, bro. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, physically. So we just got to refocus, man. Because as much as I love the Champions League, this is where you earn your bread and butter. It's the Premier League, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying? And if I'm being honest, I'll probably accept a draw going away because we're stretched with injuries, isn't it? Gordon's out because he's got suspension. You know what I'm saying? But Wilson and Joe Linton have been rested, so they should be back. So any trying to balance it because they were injured themselves. Upper Nichols. So going into the game, Ward-Prowse away, West Ham. I think we need to the best thing we could try and do is quiet them down. But trust me, when West Ham gets noisy, bro, I've been there. It's noisy, bro. You get what I'm saying? When you see that little corner on the away fans and then the rest of it's crazy, bro. The West Ham boys are different. But man, I think a draw, brother. But West Ham are not the same as last year. They're not the same.
Okay, fair.
They've got more.
Yeah, and I hit Specs. Do you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. The audio, everyone's in the comments saying it's mad. So I might have to let you dip.
Yeah, but I'm cool. Staying up.
Yeah, sorry about it. It's not on a violation thing. I know you got to go to the game anyway, but yeah, everyone in the comments saying like it's mad. So I don't want you to do yourself over either, guys. You know what? Make sure you subscribe to Geordie Jet TV though. Make sure you go and check him out as well for all the Newcastle content as well. Expect you might, so we'll get you on next week, whatever. Anyway, we'll pattern it up. Yeah, but have a good time today, my bro. Have a good time today. Yeah,
That's on.
Blessings. Yeah, people. So obviously we're gonna touch on the main games today. I think we'll start with before we do Sunday, because I know people done Sunday yesterday. And obviously me and George in that one, and obviously Don's team as well. Let's touch on the Arsenal Man City game.
All of you are 3-point collectors, isn't it?
Yeah,
actually just it.
I know Ty don't feel like 3-point collectors though. I know that for sure.
Yeah, of course I do. What do you mean?
No, I don't. You have to be real. As much as it's still stinky, from what I heard, bro. A last-minute winner in any game, bro, is gonna feel mad. That it's gonna feel. George will know about that.
100%. But I feel like there's a difference when your team is dominating the game and they deserve to win, and then you just do like a Manchester United where, yeah, look, they played okay. They didn't deserve to win, but you get 2 goals in the 92nd minute, 97th minute off a substitute. That won in the 87th minute. Come on, man. Like,
George, don't you almost think it's sweeter? Don't you almost think it's sweeter? Let's say you play stinky, but you scrape. I remember a game last season,
you can only for me, I can only really. I'll be happy with that if it's a game in isolation. Let's say like the rest of the season, my team was playing well, and then we had it off.
Oh yeah. I hear you.
The fact that United haven't been playing well, and, and yesterday they nearly slipped up. But do you know what? Take the 3 points, because this could be the beginning of something new, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. This could be a turn. God forbid it's not. It could be a turning point.
I'm happy for my guy.
You hear me?
Yeah.
I've had to people in the comments saying my mic as well, so I'm just gonna turn off my mic and then I'll chat through the laptop. Bro, I can't even lie. I take that 3 points and run with it. Did you not know yet how mad is this? In the years of Man United in Premier League history, that's the first time ever that we've come back and won in the 90th minute. Can you believe that? Think all the Fergie days and all that. All of them. Yeah.
But you mean 2 goals in the 90th minute?
2 goals.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
All the games that we've come back and won or whatever, when we talk about we scored in the 90th minute, that's because we've been drawing. But to come back yesterday and win like that, it has to be a turning point. It has to be, because I was watching my brethren and I was cussing, thinking, why is McTominay coming on? That's what I was thinking. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, Amrabat ain't going to score, but I thought he might just knock the ball around and keep it moving. But McTominay, as much as I don't like him as a football player, he came on and done his thing. A Scottish man doing it for Fergie in Fergie times. You know what I mean? And we've not been good. Like Brentford weren't even that good yesterday. I'll be real with you. They had one shot they had their one shot on target and they scored from it. Anana, another howler. This guy.
How many more does he get? How many more chances does he get, Ty? Because like
one more.
De Gea last season, they were ready to chop De Gea's head off after 1-2 mistakes last season, and he was amazing for me last season. I thought he had an amazing season, like overall.
Right. The only explanation right now is confidence, man. Because that ball yesterday was rolling. Did you get it? That ball was rolling. He's meant to make the goal look bigger, yeah, but he keeps making it look smaller. Do you get what I'm saying? Like he's not confident right now. I know you lot keep saying drop him, but who comes in, man? This is my question for you lot. Who comes in?
The keeper we've got in number 2 is a Fenerbahce.
Yeah.
Did you buy him? Did you buy him in the summer?
He's not like a dead.
Yeah.
We bought him in the summer. It's not like he's a dead number 2. He actually played for Fenerbahce all season last year.
Oh,
Kai, don't you have that like Black China man that you signed? You know the guy I'm on about. He didn't come in there. I thought he came in there.
He said he turned them down, and he rejected them.
Yeah, he turned them down.
I think they've got Turkish number 1.
Yeah, the Turkish guy is decent. I thought he would have got a chance in the Carabao Cup, but he didn't. The weird thing is that let me try again. Who said my mic's cracking? Let me try and go on this. I think in regards to Onana, like the frustrating thing is obviously he's coming to replace De Gea, so obviously like that's going to be hard in itself in terms of like he's been there for 12 years. But it's because he started off with his horrible errors, and obviously everyone knows about his distribution. We're not really seeing that because we don't play that type of football. So at the moment, it's just scrutinized because he's just making howlers in goal. And at the end of the day, the weird thing is that De Gea wasn't good with the ball at his feet, but he was a good shot stopper. So that's what he was good at, and that's what Onana is failing at. So really,
but it got to a point, Ty, yeah, where even his shot stopping wasn't good.
Bro, FA Cup final, Europa League against Sevilla. His time was to go. His time had to. It was done. So
he would have got worse. He would have got worse. He would have got worse.
100%.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ty. I think the revisionism's mad because some fans will say, "Oh, we're better off keeping De Gea and that." But word to what you said, bro, he was just a sinking ship. He was doing the same things Onana's doing, bro.
Yeah.
He was doing exactly the same stuff. So, I think the United fans saying De Gea should have stayed. Hindsight's a mad thing. That to be honest, they're both. I'm not gonna say both as bad as each other, but at least you got a younger keeper that can improve. Where De Gea, he hit his
The thing
peak,
is,
and
though,
then
The
it was
thing is,
only.
they didn't even
Wait,
break.
wait,
They didn't even break the bank for Nana, bro. They didn't even break the bank for him.
No, but the
Yeah,
thing is,
yeah.
I
45.
genuinely think
You know about that. You'd know about that. Don, innit? Breaking the bank for keepers.
Bro, of course. I suffered with that joke man, bruv. That joke man Kepa.
He's doing this thing in Madrid there. I gotta give it to
Bro,
him. He's doing this thing.
he done the same fuckery last week. I don't know if you lot saw, yeah. He tried to get the cross collection and he just messed it up.
Yes, I did actually. I did.
Yeah, that's him in a nutshell, man.
Nah, but I honestly don't think Onana's getting any better. I can't even lie. I saw the signs at Ajax, man. He was this type of goalkeeper. He had loads of mistakes in him. His distribution was always good. We all know this. And I feel like some people, especially nowadays in the modern day game, like they overrate goalkeepers' distribution and how much it actually impacts the game. Yeah, it helps your team play out from the back. But long story short, like we need our goalkeepers to save goals. They're shot stoppers. They're key areas. And the best part about their game needs to be shot stopping, reflexes, and being able to stop the goal from going in the net. Onana's probably lost you guys more points than he's won you right now. And yeah, his distribution has been good and it's looked well at times. You haven't got the players to play with his distribution because you're playing Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire at the back. They can't play out from the back.
And you know what, George? Bro, I've got to give them respect. They were good yesterday.
He had a good game, yeah.
Bro, they were good. Like both of them two were probably the man of the matches, if I'm honest. Every time when Burma got over the top and stuff, they were there. You know, they were keeping it like simple and everything. I'm not saying obviously they should start every week. None of that stuff, man. But for them to come in, Maguire under pressure, all this and that, like they done their thing.
Don't you think they've got the best chemistry, those two? Because obviously Leicester days, you know what I'm saying, running it back a bit. That pairing there, time. Why not keep them in for another one, man? You know what I mean?
That could be a partnership in the near future. Yeah.
You know what? Real talk. You know what? We probably could because we've got Sheffield United away next. They probably suit that game.
You should be winning that. As bad as you lot are, you should be winning that, man. Yesterday, who did they get spanked to? Fulham. I was watching the highlights about that. Yeah. Their defending is abysmal. As bad as you lot are, that should be 3 points after the international break, man. 100%.
But I'm happy with Ten Hag, you know, because I feel like he's been obviously under pressure by some fans, but I've always been behind him. I've been on Rant Stream. I've been on here, obviously. I've been saying Ten Hag is the right guy. We can't keep swapping and changing managers. And I do believe that the game against Galatasaray, I know people might think what you're on about, but he coached the win for me. Individual errors of Onana and Dalot cost us that game. Against Crystal Palace the week before that, we had 70% possession. I know we didn't create loads of chances, but they had one shot, one goal. And it's just like when it rains, it pours. And, you know, yesterday was just hopefully a kickstart into what our season can be. I ruled out top 4 and I looked at the table and I thought, okay, we're 5 points off at the moment. I know it don't seem like a lot, but mathematically, we are still there. Do I think we get in the top 4? No, I don't. But really, like, if we win our next 2 or 3 or beat City in a couple of weeks and stuff, you're like, oh, he's still sneaking up there. So, like, we needed that win. We needed that win 100%. And McTominay saved the day, man. But Marcus Rashford, again, quickly, weren't very good, if I'm honest. You know, I think what happened for me, he had a chance in the first half where he wiggled past a few players. I don't know if you've seen it. And then he shot to the near post. But normally, like, I thought he would lash it, but he kind of side-footed it, and I was like, "Oh, your confidence! Like, just smash the ball through." Bruno Fernandes,
you know, out on the right, and then it's mad about you saying that because Rashford never normally places or caresses it. Normally, he does smash it. So the fact he didn't in this situation was a bit mad.
Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing.
And it will go in, and then like Bruno played on the right in the first half, anonymous again. Like I like him central. I've said it already. He needs to play central or not. But when he made the subs, I thought, I know we weren't amazing, and I'm not going to say that because we won 2-1. I'm not going to gas it up. But when Garnacho and Martial came on, we just seemed to keep the ball a little bit better. Like, you know what Martial's like anyway. He just tucks into the pockets, keeps it moving, retains it, flicks it off or whatever. Garnacho,
your cousin.
Retain it.
Did any flicks hurt him yesterday, Ty? Did any flicks hurt him yesterday, or did he come off limping yesterday from any flicks?
Nah, he was all right, man. Yeah. Injuries are over, man. We're back now. We're back now. But now like the little changes we made like worked a little bit, and like we just at the end of the day, for me, I'm not gonna get gassed over the performance. We needed 3 points. and we just keep it moving, man. That's just the way it is. Someone that can get gas though. Guys, make sure you smash the like button, by the way. 600 of you in here. 100%. Obviously, you got Amrabat live on stream as well after playing 90 minutes. I stayed on the pitch. Casemiro didn't. You know what I'm saying? So
I was gonna ask you on him, yeah, because I can't lie. From what I've seen, I ain't seen the full 90-minute games every time from you lot, but from what I've seen, he hasn't been as influential as a lot of Man United fans projected him to be. Like I heard Amrabat's gonna come in and the midfield, he's gonna gel the midfield.
Yesterday,
like,
Jordan, half time.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say.
He was.
And I saw he was at fault for the first goal, was he not?
Yeah.
Wait, Ty, he was subbed at half time.
Casemiro.
Oh, actually, I see the quote, and they asked Ten Hag that I wanted to see football.
Yeah,
that's why he brought that.
Real talk. Real to that. You know what? It's a hard one, George. I'm probably one of the most least reactionary, I like to think, when it comes to the negative side of things. I think Casemiro is actually, like, in the first half against Galatasaray as well, I thought he was quite all right as well. It's just when your results aren't great, it's easy to sort of like look at someone and say, oh, they're not that good. I thought Casemiro has still been okay this season. He hasn't been as good as what he was last year, but he gave the ball away yesterday. No excuses. He gave the ball away yesterday for that chance and they scored from it. But I've always said that I think he needs that support around him. He needs that legs around him. He's not one of them defensive midfielders or number sixes or whatever you want to call it that you can just leave isolated on his own. He's not like Casado at Chelsea, where I feel like you could put Enzo and Gallagher in 4 and the high 8s, and you know that Casado's got the legs to sort of cover and gain that ground. Like, Basuma, another one, you can leave him alone and just say, do you know what, beat the press, just take the ball and be cozy with it. Casemiro is not that guy. So if you want to see Casemiro at his best, I feel like you need someone next to him who's a bit defensive, because actually Casemiro is very effective going forward. If you lot don't clock it, he gets quite a lot of goals for us and he can like break the lines in that. He's not actually like a proper defensive midfielder. He likes to get a bit forward. So for me, I think it's a bit of both. Casemiro's looking a bit leggy a bit, but also I don't think he's had the right framework around him to allow him to be the Casemiro he needs to be. Because he's 31, George. We can't expect, Casemiro to do everything. Sometimes you've got to put little things in place to make him be his best. You get what I'm saying?
Fairs.
Yeah, I'm not done with him or nothing yet, like other people are though. Put it that way. Way.
But how did Mount do? Because obviously I didn't watch the night. I only watched highlights.
He was all right. He had a chance where he shot and it got deflected out for a corner. He was okay. Like, he didn't do nothing that makes me think you need to stay on the pitch. Like, if he got subbed, I would have been like, cool. Do you know what I mean?
Mount is? It's just a busy bee, isn't it? It's just a busy.
Yeah, he is, man.
I mean,
that's what I was gonna say, Don. Right? From watching the highlights, obviously I didn't watch the 90-minute game. From match of the day, it just looks like he was doing the basics, industrious. You know what I mean? Just being. What you said, Don, what you said at the start of the season, all they're gonna get is a busy bee. He's not gonna do nothing extravagant. Do you know what I mean? But he just looked like.
He's not creative. He's not creative, innit? You know what I'm saying? That's why I've always called him the diluted version of Bruno, because Bruno's a busy bee, but at least he'll create for you. Mason gets busy, but when it comes to that final product, even shooting, bro, like a lot of his shots get blocked. He doesn't really compose himself in a way where it's like, I'm gonna put it in that corner. He gets it, and it's just rash.
He snatches at shots. Is it the amount of times you see Mason shoot and it just goes wide? And it's like, bro, you had time. Like, calm down. Like, relax.
It's weird though because coming through the academy, even when he was at Vitesse and when he was at Derby, first season at Chelsea, bro, the guy in front of goal was clinical, bro. Especially outside of the box as well. He was very good outside the box. He used to compose himself and pick a corner and just ras it in there. But now,
remember against us in the COVID year, Don, that finish from, I was like, bro, like I didn't think he had that in his locker, bro. But no, you're
finishes. If you guys remember that finish against Porto in the Champions League as well in the half turn, that's his bag. Mason
and the one against Sevilla away.
Yep, Mason on the half turn is very good. You get it, but since I would say probably since last season in front of goal, he's been very flaky, man. Very flaky.
It's a weird one with him because. My boy said a good point, and he said it's like Mason Mount has actually become like his main midfielder, because if you think about it, Bruno's actually his best position is to see number 10. You guys would, like, as a football fan, you'd want to see him in a number 10. Me, I don't like him out wide. However, he's putting Bruno out wide to accommodate Mason Mount in the central areas. And if you think about it, Mason Mount has played on the wing before for England. He's done all them little roles and stuff like that. Mason Mount's actually a better right winger than what Bruno is. I'm not saying any of them are great at right wings. Bruno's crap. But if I had to out of the two, I think Mason Mount could do a better role on the right wing than what Bruno done. But the fact that he puts Bruno out there shows to me that does Ten Hag actually trust Bruno in these central areas? And I think he actually trusts Mount more. That's what I'm thinking, because otherwise, say again.
No, I think it's also like Don said, Mount's like busy bee, as in his defensive work and defensive work rate is very high. So when you put him in a central part of the central park, like he's going to be moving around, he's going to be pressing high to get the ball, and he's good at that. Like Bruno, let's be honest, when it comes to the defensive side of his game, he's just not there. It's just not up to the level. And I feel like Man United's main problem is trying to accommodate Bruno right now, because you're trying to find a midfield three that works with Bruno playing in front. But if you have Mount behind him, then you need to drop either Casemiro or Amrabat, and that don't work, because let's be real. I feel like if you play Casemiro, you need Amrabat next to him.
Facts.
And then your number 10 is where you're gonna. I feel like it's gonna be a constant issue with you guys.
Bro,
trying to find
all season, George. This is why I can't get gassed. 100%. This is it, because he's gonna try and play Bruno and Mount together, and the truth is he can't do it, and he's now gonna have to die on his own sword. And I'm not gonna get onto Ten Hag in terms of like, do I want him here or not? I do want him here, but in terms of his downfall, I think he'll be his own downfall, because he won't want to rectify that. He's kind of got that. When certain managers sign players, it's like they'll do everything and keep persisting to try and make it work, because they don't want their signing or their captain to be wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, and actually,
there's a certain club doing it now. Like we all know, but there's a certain club doing it now. Do you know what I mean? With a certain Kai Havertz. Sorry, I just had to shut that in. But you don't really. You don't really have that player that you keep consistent, and it's not just gonna exactly, bro. Like,
yeah, man, make it work. Facts, man. Guys, make sure you like up the video and subscribing. But obviously, yeah, we'll touch on.
Quickly, that the thing is, why when managers do that, for me, it's proper bad, because that could just be a detriment to your team. Sometimes there's no point being wrong and strong if it's gonna affect your team. Sometimes just cut your losses. Hold your hands up, you got it wrong. There's no manager ever that's been flawless with every signing. Do you know what I mean? But I think when you're trying to shoehorn a player in and it's affecting others, it's not the smartest thing to do, man. But many managers do it, and I just don't think it's smart, to be honest.
Yeah, now I'm with you. At the end of the day, it's a team game, and you got to do what's best for the team. But let's see, man. International break for us now. 3 points, collectors, like you said. So let's keep it moving, man. But someone who's smiling, obviously, we can go to Don or George. George is top of the table. Don's got 2-3 in a row. Who wants to land? Who wants to go? Who's pumped?
You know, I need to let the young sons do their work, man. We got to praise them.
We got Raheem Sterling on the stream anyway.
Is it? Hey, hey, let them man, let them man there that was struggling to score 3 goals. Let them man there that were trying to dive outside the box to get a goal against Luton. Yeah, from outside the box and that. Let them go first. I'll go after.
Do you know what? No. Do you know what? Look, the game was always going to be tough. We as Tottenham fans knew, especially after the Liverpool game, like the Luton away early kickoff. It's just one of those games.
George, I have to stop you. After the red card, yes. Don't you dare say we knew as Spurs fans. I don't care if it's 12:30, 8 p.m., 5:30.
I can't even lie. Even with the red
card. How? It's Luton, bro.
Nah, but even before the red card.
Oh, you should have been 3 goals up in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, but I know that. But I generally knew, like, I had a feeling this is going to be one of those games that we were going to have to tough out a 2-1, 1-0 win. I feel like just because the way that I saw it is we're going into the international break. We have Son that's not 100%. He only changed once this week. Maddison's still not 100%, as well as a couple of these other little things that you can just see in the team. Like, I feel like a bit of fatigue was setting in. I could just see that the team wasn't going to be at our best yesterday. I knew that already before the game.
He was a bit skeptical.
Quickly, just to jump in, I hear you probably as a Spurs fan, but from the outside looking in, I know we say there's no easy banker in the Prem, but I think if there's one team, home or away, it is Luton. I would understand if you said this after the red card. I completely get, because that will change the dynamic of any game. But to say, I know you had a few players that weren't 100% fit, but to say you knew this would be a tough game, I think your first 15 minutes was evident that it wasn't really going to be a tough game. If anything, you lot made it harder for yourselves, because you can't say
it's a bit Roms though, because if Luton get through the first 20
minutes,
man,
not Luton.
No.
I'm sorry.
I don't think they're good. No, I don't think they're good. But you know them teams that just get a set piece and then they just get the crowd going. I know how Jordan felt, because at 0-0 at half time, you're thinking if they just get a Colton Morris header from a corner or something, the crowd get going. They're down.
He nearly bagged, to be fair. He actually nearly bagged.
You know what I mean? I can see why George is obviously saying there's no easy game. Technically, okay, you go to Burnley like Don did, you win. But no matter what, you go to these sort of grounds and you always just think when it's your club, you're like, is today going to be their day? That's how Jules was probably thinking
exactly
about
that. No, and exactly that. And I feel like we've been riding our luck for a while. We're unbeaten. And so at this moment in time, like, yeah, there is a slight thought in the back of my mind, like, I know we're gonna lose, but who are we gonna lose to? That loss is coming soon. It's gonna be coming before December. Like, and our next 6 games, they look a bit easy, but I know it's coming. So I'm obviously weary that we could put in a performance where we look good and then we just concede. But nah, apart from that though, even when we did get the red, I did know that we were gonna win. I was always confident that we're gonna walk away with the 3 points. It was scrappy. It was tough. I feel like after we went 1-0 up, we did sit back far too much. The performance wasn't good. And obviously, I know Ange had to make quite a few changes to the point we literally had one up top and then a packed midfield and a packed defense at the end. I think Luton are just like Rom said, they are a bad team, man. Like I feel like we showed them far too much of the ball after we went 1-0 up, gave them far too much of it, let them play their game and sort of gave them too much respect because, like Rom said, in the first half we broke through them, cut through their lines too easy. Richarlison's he's just Richarlison at this point. Honestly, like he should have had a hat trick. He literally had 3 clear-cut chances.
I missed the first half.
Well, they should have been 3 goals up. They should have been 3 goals up.
Quickly on Richarlison, because this is a man, as a Liverpool fans, we despise because of what he done to Thiago and whatnot. And he's just that petulant character. But can you see him ever improving? Because I feel like Richarlison's going to be that player that will get goals in moments, but I don't think he's ever going to be consistently good for you. I'm interested to hear your view on Richarlison.
Honestly, as like even take away the fact I'm a Tottenham fan, as someone that watches football and played football, and I just think like, how is this guy a professional footballer? Sometimes, like, I'm being so real. Like I've tried to support him and stuff, but like even just the simple thing, like his first touch is horrible. Like he has a horrible first touch. His finishing, he was in front of goal yesterday. The commentary were trying to praise the goalkeeper for doing a good save with his leg. All he had to do was slot. He was literally received it on the left side 6-yard box. All you have to do was slot it to the right, slot it near post or through the legs. Puts it straight at the keeper. Yeah, again, like and the first chance was crazy. Like I looked at it, he was in the goal. Like his foot was in the goal and he missed. He missed.
George, you know what's mad? You know how you speak about Richarlison? I love Nunes, by the way, not me. But this is how a section of my fan base speak about Nunes. Literally how you're speaking about Richarlison.
He missed one the other night on Thursday.
I feel like Nunes
Sitter, bro. I was right near the goal, bro. I was there. I saw it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, bro.
No, but
couldn't believe it.
Yeah, you can see his ball striking ability. Like he's technically good with his ball striking. Like, good. Richarlison can't. Like he doesn't know how to hit a ball. He's always like it's like them pop shots, or like you said about Mount earlier. Like every time he gets into position where he shoot, it's like his heart skips a beat and he gets excited. So he just rash, he just snapshots constantly. So I don't feel like he's ever going to be a success.
He's one of them players. He's one of them players that thinks he's scored before it's gone in. I know certain man like that. I know certain man like that, bro. I hate playing man like that. Yeah, bro. It's like, bro, score the goal first and then celebrate. Don't think you've scored before it's gone in.
That is spot on.
Yeah, that is actually very accurate, you know.
That's what he is. That's what he is, bro.
I picture his eyes just running off doing the knee slide.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. And do you know what it is? Yeah, Richarlison, I feel like he's one of those players that always like they're far too like he relies too much on confidence. Like he's only ever gonna have a good game if he's confident going into the game and he's had like a good game before that. But otherwise, he's just not gonna give us that much. I feel like off the bench, he's great. Like he'd be a great player to come off the bench. Last 15 minutes, headless chicken running around. Just your defenders are just watching a man like move around. It's just getting a bit erratic. Like pulls players out of positions. But apart from that, I can't see him starting for Tottenham for the long-term future. We need someone else on the left.
Brennan Johnson is back after international break, and then you've got Solomon. Obviously, he's injured at the moment.
Ryan Hill's back.
I feel like with Brennan Johnson, like even though he played in the North London derby, he done okay for his first start. To be fair, I think he's more. He gives you a bit of an outlet as well. I see him potentially in Richarlison just sort of like rotating, and then Maddison and Heung-min Son have kind of got their positions locked in. And Kulusevski, funny enough, it's quite strange because out of everyone in your attack, I thought he would be the one that normally would get subbed off. But every time it's Maddison and Son, Kulusevski's getting the 90 minutes every game, so he must like him, you know.
Do you know what it is? Yeah. A lot of his best work is done like off the ball and as well as like away from goals and assists. All of his best work is done away from goals and assists. A lot of people try to measure him for he's not got that many assists, he's not really scoring goals, but you see the way that he receives the ball. I feel like a lot of our play is key to him, like him receiving the ball outside on the right hand side, dragging the fullbacks out And then him bringing it back inside off the left side, just quickly moving it, that quick one-touch play with Porro. So I feel like he's just very key to our system. That right-hand side is probably where we're most effective. But Maddison, yet again, yesterday.
Great assist. Do you know what, George? Do you know what's mad, yeah? And I don't know if you, man, agree with me, but I talk about now when you talk about number 10s, obviously I like the number 10s like Maddison, Odegaard that are like silky with the ball and stuff like that. But when I talk about number 10s that are comfortable in wide situations, that's a different ball game. And when I look at his assist against Arsenal, twisting up Saka left and right, he can go left, he can go right, and he's sort of yesterday again on the byline, he's actually great in wide areas, and it's rare that you get number 10s. Like if Odegaard's in that sort of wide area, you don't imagine sort of twisting up a man, running across the byline and crossing it and getting a goal. Like he'll just take it back, probably pass it back into midfield. Maddison, as much as he's good in central areas, George, I think he's so good in these wide areas with his twists and turns, and 2 assists in 2 weeks, basically, from that sort of situation. I think he's an underrated talent for number 10.
And that's exactly
he's just quality from any position. He's just quality. He's quality.
And that's why when I was on the terrace with Mo and he was saying Maddison's better than Odegaard, I heard the shout, bro, and everyone was moving like he was moving mad. But at the time, I remember I was saying, with Maddison, he takes on his man a lot more than Odegaard does. Do you get it? Odegaard can find that needle of a pass. The guy can put it through your legs on a mad one. But Maddison, he wants to take it to a man and try and drive past him and that. Do you get it? Bro, he's cold, bro. He's very, very good, man. Very, very good. I even had, I look back at a tweet from I think last year, October. I said, Chelsea better be in for Maddison. Better be in for him because I really wanted him, man.
Well, only if he was 1 year younger, Don.
Yeah. 20. If he was 25, then maybe.
He's 25. Yeah. But yeah,
I rate him, man. I rate him.
Yeah, you must be buzzing with him. Obviously, being assistant captain as well, and he's coming and he's setting an example on that side of things as well.
Nah, he's setting an example from like the way that he plays, and just even I see like at corners, free kicks, we're late in the game. You're seeing Maddison talk to the team, like he's trying to give those team talks. Boys, get up, like get ready, like. So for me, like Maddison's just been amazing coming to this team, settled us, he's made us better. We're actually a lot better team without Harry Kane. Like as a whole team, he's settled us and just been, the transition's been so smooth. You couldn't ask for a better transition with a creative player like him, and he's been phenomenal. Like there's been no doubt like why he's the best playmaker in the league right now. I feel like by the end of the season, the conversation is going to be like Maddison's better than Odegaard. He's better than Bruno. He's going to be talking to guys like, obviously not KDB yet, but that's the conversations he's going to want to be having, because Maddison's just all-round game. I've been saying, like, I don't feel like he's just a creative midfielder. He plays well from deep. Gunner King's lost, man. Gunner King's been lost. Look,
big up Gunner.
I even see him comment, "Oh, Odegaard's not a 10, he's an 8," just to change the conversation. If he's when does Odegaard play 8 for Arsenal? I mean, you put Havertz in 8 to accommodate for Odegaard.
He's basically a 10. I know he plays 8, but I think he's basically a 10.
He's basically a 10. He's a 10.
Yeah,
he's a crazy.
It's mad. It's mad. What do you think then? So before we go into Chelsea, in terms of like Spurs now, where they are at the moment, top of the table at the moment. Obviously, unbeaten so far. I see Roms is going to talk about the team news shortly because he looks like he's vexed.
He's not happy with that.
Yeah.
There's one player in particular yeah, we'll get onto that soon.
Yeah, we'll get onto it. But like I want to hear what everyone thinks, in terms of what Spurs' aspirations should be right now, considering the way they started the season. They're out of obviously the Carabao, but they've still got obviously the FA Cup to focus on as well. But it's literally like one game a week. They're going to keep their players fresh, hopefully, barring any mad injuries. But what do you think Spurs can do? Like, I'm not considering them for the title race. No disrespect to Jules or nothing like that. I like Tottenham, and I think obviously they had a great start. But for them, getting top 4 would be like what Ten Hag done last season, a very good achievement, and seeing what they can do in the FA Cup and going all out for that competition because they can. But I think at the moment, obviously, a very good start to the season. I think Angie is the manager they need and they needed. But yeah, for me, top 4 is well on, man. I don't have any qualms in this team because I said to Daps and that yesterday on the Never a Foul stream that it gives me sort of, as much as you're going to hate it, Spurs fans, but it gives me Arsenal vibes of last year in terms of every week you knew what their team was. It was Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel Zinchenko, Thomas Partey. It was just like you could just name it. And now Spurs, I just feel like it's Adogi, Van der Ven, Romero, Porro, Basuma, Sarr, like Maddison. Like it's just there for you every week, and I think that's a good thing for Spurs having that rhythm. But yeah, anyone wants to jump next? What do you think about Spurs?
You see, you make a good point. They've got a solid 11. That 11's good enough to get in the top 4. The only thing that I'm skeptical about is when guys start to drop out because it's going to happen. Do you get what I'm saying?
Happens to all of us.
It happens to all of us, but the difference with Spurs is that their quality, and they'll tell you themselves, off the bench ain't great. Do you know what I'm saying? They've still got guys in this team that shouldn't be there anymore. I know they're going to say Bentancur for Odegaard, but listen, Odegaard's a different level, man. Let's be real. Let's be real here, yeah? So, not Odegaard, sorry, Maddison, is a different level. So for me, the only thing that I'm skeptical about is how fit can they keep their key players like a Maddison, like a Basuma, do you know what I mean? Even like a Son, because he's been getting a lot of goals for them. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that I'm skeptical about. But I think their 11 is definitely, strong enough to get into that top 4. But I think they might find themselves in a position where they end up maybe in a top 6 because they've ended up getting injuries to Maddison, to Basuma, to Son, that sort of thing. Because Christmas, bro, those fixtures, they come around very, very quickly. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think when it comes to FA Cup, Ange can't do the same thing he did before, man. You tested them, man, before in the Carabao. You saw that they're not good enough. You saw they can't do what you need them to do. FA Cup, just put that 11 in there that you've been winning with in the league. So
the thing is,
that's my take on Spurs, man.
What you just said, Don, as well, and I think George will agree. Where Ange messed up in the Carabao as well, wasn't it? Nine changes, George. It was. I know it was a wholesale. I think in the FA Cup, he will still weaken the team, but I think he won't make the same mistake. I think he makes 2 or 3 changes, maybe 4, but he won't do a wholesale 7 to 9 changes. But I'm with you, Ty. I think Spurs should be aiming for top 4, and I do think they'll get top 4. And I think, I agree with Don. Injuries will occur. They'll occur to all our teams. Like Don was saying as well, I know Spurs, their depth off the bench isn't the greatest, but I do feel with sometimes in football, you can get that luck. You can get that season where you hardly get any injuries. Who's to say that might not be the case for Spurs? I remember when we won the title, we were blessed. We had no injuries that year. And
bro, Arsenal last year, bro. Arsenal last year.
Yeah, Arsenal last year as well. Barely, only towards the end, but they hardly got any injuries. So I do think Spurs are aiming for 4th. I do think they'll get 4th. And I think they'll go for a FA Cup. They'll go for a cup run. And if you ask any Spurs fan, 4th in a cup run, they're biting your hand off for that, because at the start of the season, I had them 7th. I had them well outside of even the top 6. So, yeah, man, I think that's what Spurs should be aiming for, and I think that's what they'll get. To be fair.
Okay, George, do you think it'll be a disappointment from now then if you don't? Because obviously, I think you can get top 4. Roms thinks you do. Don thinks top 4 if you get no injuries, but if you do, then obviously 6. I saw you smiling. So with your smile, do you now think it'll be a disappointment if you don't get top 4 then? Is that what you're saying?
It's just funny to hear from Don, because I was just thinking if we're top 6, is Chelsea getting above us or something? Like, I don't know. We'll get onto that one, but no, we're definitely top 4 this season. I think there's no doubt about that. Even with injuries, like the way that we play is just sustainable way of playing football. And so even if we do have to chop and change the team, I do feel like the football is still.
But George, how you play, bro? How you play? Similar sort of principle as Brighton. It's like a domino effect. If you take one guy out of that domino, bro, it goes all the way across the team.
Depending on who the player is. I feel like if it's Maddison,
God, I'll be real though.
Certain man come out.
I'll be real. Coming from a Chelsea fan, I think this is more hopium for you, because, bro, this can happen. You can go through a season where you get minimal injuries. It can happen. And Don, if that happens for Spurs, they probably will get top 4, bro. I think because you lot are rivals and you hate each other, I feel like you're more hoping.
I'm not. Bro, I'm not, because George knows how much I was bigging up and bigging up Spurs throughout the whole season.
To be fair, he was even before the season.
That's what I'm saying. So I know how good they are as 11. But all I'm saying is,
the depth after the 11 is true.
The depth after the 11 ain't great. The same way I've been talking about United's squad, that their quality is the same way I'm talking about Spurs' squad. And how Ange wants them to play, I don't think certain man can play at that level. How he wants them to play, is very, very risky. You get it? Very risky. And if you've got a guy that can't do it, bro, that's a pressing trigger right there. And they're going to concede more goals. So that's how I kind of look at it.
I do think the thing is, though, I do think like injuries throughout the whole season, I don't know, but I think we'll make it to January. That's the thing. I do think we'll make it to January where we
January, you can refresh the squad, man.
Yeah,
and then you go again.
Bolster the squad with 2 or 3 players, and then we can be solid. But I do feel like that for Tottenham, for me as a Tottenham fan, I know a lot of fans don't like to hear it saying, but we are generally just taking this a game at a time. Like, as you guys know, we didn't have too much high expectations of our team prior to the season, because we had Kane gone, we had Ange coming. The expectation was top 6, just flat, get back into top 6, go from there. But now we've seen where our team is at, and we know the level we can get to. We obviously expect top 4, but anything higher than top 4, anything beyond that, I'll just be like, let's take it game by game and just see where we're at and what the position we're going in for.
Do you know who's going to feel like a new sign? Because I spoke to Patrick about this. I spoke to you in the past. I rate Bentancur highly. I think if he can come back and stay fit,
he replaced Saar. He literally just takes the
straight away. And then you look at the midfield depth. It's like, cool. If Bentancur was to get injured again, you've got Star to now come in. That's ready made. That's had that run. Yeah, he's proven. Do you know what I mean? But I think Bentancur is going to feel like a new sign because I think he's criminally underrated, especially by rivals. I think Spurs fans know how good he is because obviously they watch him week in, week out. But Bentancur is a baller. I think he's a baller, and he'll come back and feel like
before his injury, he was standing out for them in midfield, and that's a midfield, by the way, without Basuma there. So we saw Bentancur actually look pretty good in the midfield without Basuma.
Literally, him and Højbjerg.
Next to Højbjerg. I agree with you on it. I think I'm not going to say that Spurs get top 4 yet. I still think it's quite early, but I think they're on the right path. It's just, what, like Don said, in a way, you kind of know by Christmas how serious teams fully are when you hit that first week of January, just before FA Cup. But obviously, when you look at it, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, I think them 3 teams are locked in. It's just who can get that 4th spot. And at the moment,
Ty, I know it's cliche, but I just think that 1 game a week's key because the more games you have, the higher probability that players will get in. I know players can get injured anywhere, like they can get injured training, they can get injured anywhere, but it's the more games you have, the chances are higher. And I just think with United, because let's say you say Liverpool, City and Arsenal are locked in, which I agree. I think got them top 3 places. For me, that 4th spot now is between Newcastle, United, and probably Spurs. And then you look at United and Newcastle. I do think you get through your Champions League group. I'll be real. I think you scrape past your Champions League group, and then I think Newcastle. I've been saying this. A lot of people wrote them off, but they get through their group. And even if they don't, they then drop into the Europa League. So it's still more games where Spurs have that 1 game a week. And a lot of people say, it's back to that cliche saying, but it is key. It just is. You have more time to prepare from a Monday to the weekend. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to think about anything.
You know what though?
You can see Saka's already been affected by the game load and having to play 2 games a week. Like we told them, your young players, especially your biggest players, when they start playing all these games, you're seeing he's starting to pick up little niggles and they have to take him off. They take him off game in. And then today we're gonna see if they risk him again, he can pick up a further injury.
I'm happy you said that, because
crazy stuff.
I'm happy you said that because Arsenal fans are gassed that he's starting. Yes, he's one of your best players, but he's not fully fit. And against a City team that are high pressing and pop it about, I don't think Arsenal fans should be getting that gas because your star boy, God's child, he's not 100%. He's not.
And the thing is, the thing that I struggle, the thing with them, look, they keep ignoring the fact, that Ake locked him down twice last season. Do you get what I'm saying? He locked him off, but they're going on like Saka done a madness, like when he played.
He's not fully fit this time, so it could be potentially even easier. Yeah, bro,
that's bread and butter for Ake right there. That is bread and butter because we know, that
and Ake can go in hard in that first challenge.
Listen, big up Gunnar King because Gunnar King, he's smart. There's some Arsenal fans that are saying, because we know he's not 100%, I don't want him to start. And that's what Gunnar King's saying. If I was an Arsenal fan, I would say the same thing because he's not fully fit. And yes, because I'm seeing it got confirmed by that Ty. You put it in the chat, that journalist. And Arsenal fans were lapping it up. Yes, I get he's one of your best players, but you subconsciously knowing he's not fully fit, it shouldn't be all party and celebrating, because even Martinelli's another one. I think he'll probably come off the bench today, but you can't get overexcited about a player that is not fully fit because one challenge or one little thing, he could be down.
Are you saying that like you're bringing Dom? We'll chat about Chelsea. We'll just do the Arsenal now while we're in it. Arsenal City now.
Yeah.
But like when you look at it with the injury, obviously you've got the England camp coming up. For me, Saka should not be going anywhere near that. Arteta should be saying no, leave him.
Ty, he needs to do a Trent. Because Trent.
Apparently, he might get omitted. I saw an article that he might get omitted from the squad. He might get omitted from the squad.
He has to for the long-term prevention because at the end of the
day, Bowen's coming back in now, isn't it?
Bowen's in. They got Foden that can play off the right anyway, so they've got the depth.
He signed a 7-year deal, this morning. He actually signed a 7-year deal.
They know what time it is. That's why they know what time it is. Liverpool are gonna come in the summer when Salah leaves, and
I can imagine Bowen at Liverpool as well. 100%. I
don't want him, but I can see it. I can actually see it.
Oh, he's good, bro. Roms is very good. He's like a little.
No, but I I'd rather use the excess of 100 million that we bid for Caicedo for Diaby. Just chuck 100 at Villa because Villa are going to want more. I'd rather Diaby than a Bone. That's just me, younger, more talented.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I mean? So, but I feel I agree with you. I feel
he said to me at the end, you remember?
Adeyemi as well. Yeah, he's one of the options as well. But when I thought about it, I want Diaby first choice. Adeyemi probably a second. Only thing with Adeyemi is he's quite injury prone. But yeah, man, Bowen will be my third or fourth choice.
All right, we will talk in Liverpool, so I just want to make sure it stays in the chat with the Arsenal City thing.
Yeah.
Do you think then that with Saka being out, obviously potentially if he got a long-term injury, this is where I said that Arsenal messed up for me in the summer, because I know everyone was getting gassed about the Declan Rice, obviously the Timber, and obviously Havertz, not saying they got gassed over it, but they saw that it was a squad depth signing. I said that when people were saying, oh, do Arsenal need anything else? Some people said obviously they needed a proper number 9. I was like, they needed to go and get someone that could deputise for Bukayo Saka. Now, if they kept Nicolas Pepe, I don't think Pepe's that bad. I just don't think it worked really at Arsenal, but you could have had him as a plan B. You got Reece Nelson now that plays more off the left. But if Saka doesn't play, for example, I know he's going to play today, but if he gets injured or doesn't play long term, Reece Nelson, the person that's coming in. But you guys are already debating, Saka shouldn't probably be starting. So you guys would have Nelson coming in today and saying, give him a chance.
No, do you know what it is? Yeah, a lot of Arsenal fans think Nelson's good. He's not up to the level for starting.
But George, this is what I'm saying. People keep dismissing him. Listen, I'll be real with you. Yeah, I'm one guy. When they were coming through, yeah. So Nelson, Smith Rowe, and Saka. I only rated Smith Rowe and Saka. Nelson used to be so weak, bro. Like when it comes to taking him off the ball, you could just pickpocket him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he was very, very weak on the ball. He didn't really try to take man on. When he went to Germany, he had a decent loan at the beginning, if you guys remember, yeah. And then he fell off because he had problems with the manager. Yeah, I think was it Hoffenheim where he went on loan in Germany. Yeah. He came back, right? But last year, bro, I was looking at him. I'm like, raw, this guy's actually got a lot better. He was beating players. He was coming off the bench. He was actually being quite effective for them. And every single time I watched him, bro, he just looked like he was ready to go, ready to actually, add something to the team. And then on top of that, Arteta gave him that new contract. So obviously he's seen enough to say, do you know what? I want you to stay. Because he could have gone to many other clubs. Fabrizio's reported it multiple times, yeah? He had offers in England. He had offers like outside of England. So he had options on the table there, innit? Guys were willing to give him an opportunity to start week in, week out. So for me, as much as people want to say, oh, Nelson's not levels, Nelson's a left winger, he's more better on the left, bro, he gives a different dynamic on the right because Saka inverts too much. Nelson can stay wide. Do you know what I'm saying? When it comes to beating low blocks as well, he can definitely help with that. And he's held his own every time he's played, man. I've been impressed with him. I don't know why people.
You know what, Don? That on that point, the latter what you just said, I rate Nelson. I always have, and I know some of the Arsenal fans are saying Nelson. I know you're saying you only rated Smith Rowe and Saka coming through and not Nelson, but their estate's down the road from me, and I'm telling you now, Nelson was actually the star boy. They thought he would be the Saka coming through.
Yeah. He was big time because he came through Wenger, innit? He came through Wenger at the beginning.
Yeah. And one thing I'll say with you, is when you just said Nelson's held his own coming into Arsenal's team, I 100% agree, but that's normally coming off the bench. Starting is a different pressure. I'm not saying he's not capable of having a good game starting, but I think Nelson starting, he might not be as effective. I agree with you though. I genuinely think Saka shouldn't start, and I play Nelson in the right. Trossard on the left and Hayes up top.
No, that's effectively. He's been effective against tired legs. Like starting a game against.
He played well against Brentford. He scored against Brentford the other week. That's a team that United struggled against. He played well against them.
I mean, but I still see that. Like, starting a game against City is completely different. It's a different level. And me personally, I think Arsenal best off starting out Jesus on the right wing. Like if you put him out on the right, and I've never fancied him as a striker. I've always thought he was better on the wing. I think.
And then put like a Havertz or Nketiah up top.
And then they're probably going to have to go with Havertz or Nketiah up top. Me personally, I would have said Havertz over Nketiah. I think Nketiah has good pressing. He has some good off the ball work, but I feel like Havertz's movement is good, and especially in a game against City where they're not going to have too much chances, I feel like they're probably going to need like Havertz's movement, and especially for him to just drift off a defender and playing in that central position would probably be better for him. He gets a lot more free roaming, and he's not that good. Let's be honest. Man City's defenders will probably underrate him and give him a lot more time and space on the ball.
George, do you know where you're kind of spot on as well? Because in the Community Shield, they were doing that. They played Havertz on false 9 and they bypassed the midfield. But the only reason why I think they shouldn't play Havertz in a 9 role today, they're missing Rodri, a key player in that middle. And I think Arsenal don't have to bypass the midfield. I think midfield for midfield, I think we'll all agree, Arsenal will have the stronger midfield today if they don't play Havertz in the middle. But midfield for midfield, they'll have the stronger midfield in my opinion. And I think there'll be no need to bypass that midfield. That's why I wouldn't start Havertz. For me, Havertz shouldn't be starting in this game at all, in my opinion. But I do see your logic as to why you would play him there.
Oh shit! Sorry, I thought you was gonna come back.
No.
You just froze. Do you know what's interesting though? I like that you speak on that because I wanted to talk about Man City and comparing the midfields because I was thinking everyone was speaking about obviously start of the season, the Partey, Odegaard, and Rice midfield. We haven't really been able to see it because obviously Rice had his little knock. Then when he came back in, you had obviously Partey's had his timeout. Now they're back in. Obviously, this could be the day where you start them all three, unleash them against the big guns. Arsenal need this win as much as they want it for obviously challenging for the title and winning 3 points. They need this mentally. Like people don't realize when you haven't beaten a team for so long, or you've let this Man City team come to your backyard and beat you. It's like
12
already
games, 12 losses they've got against
City.
I heard the aggregate's like 33-5.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like Man City are going there. Man City are going there today, and they know they haven't got Rodri, but I know people like Ruben Diaz who can lead. They're going to say to these players who are coming in potentially, like Jeremy Doku, like Matthias Nunes, like Gavardiol, who I think will be on job today. They're going to say, right, we haven't got Rodri. People are doubting us. Stand up and be counted. Because if they go to the Emirates today and beat them without Rodri, that's just another dagger for the Arsenal fans because it's like you still couldn't beat us when we didn't have Rodri and you had your best midfield. Because midfield for midfield, I think you're onto something, Roms. I think on paper, no offense, I've heard Rico Lewis might be starting. Great young talent. But if it's like Rico Lewis, Kovacic and Bernardo, whatever it is, just say, for example, I do believe in terms of balance and the whole experience and everything. I do feel like
physicality as well.
I think Arsenal have got a upper hand on the midfield. I think you're right. It's a big.
I think
Arsenal got some tall players.
I think you're spot on that. I tweeted this the minute Rodri got that red against, was it Forest that? The minute he got the red, I said, look, no KDB and no Rodri. If Arsenal don't beat City today, you've got to question when will it ever happen? Because when they play the return fixture in squeaky bum time in the run-in, they're going to have the KDB back. They're going to have the Rodri back. City, we know they get stronger from about Christmas time anyway. So you've got to question yourself. Arsenal can't win today. You've got to ask yourself when. But I do feel there's been people in the chat. It's been balanced. Some people say the pressure's more on Arsenal, the pressure more on City. For me, it's more on Arsenal because of the personnel that is missing. And the fact that it's been, 8 years that they haven't had this result against City. And I think you're spot on, Ty. It's more of a mental thing, man. Arsenal have to win today. And the reason why I say City don't have to, because we've seen City. City actually like to be the hunters instead of being hunted. And I've been there with them. They actually prefer chasing you than being ahead. And if City were to lose this game, and I think most of their fans will agree, for them, it's their cool. We lost, but after the international game break, we go again. We go on a run. We put the pressure on Arsenal again. And I think for Arsenal, if they was to lose this, it will just be another mental block, man. I think you're spot on, Ty.
Yeah, they have to get this job done today. And then even for Man City, like I was saying with Daps yesterday, I don't even feel like if Man City lose this game, it does a lot to derail their season because they will just go again. We know that with Pep Guardiola, they just go again. And I heard that they've not like lost 2 league games in a row since like 2017 or something crazy. Like they lost obviously Wolves in their last league game. So Don, I don't expect City to come there and get walk. Yeah, I don't expect City to come there and obviously get walked over at all. I think some people think that obviously because they haven't got Rodri, it is a chance for Arsenal, which 100% it is. However, when you sign for City and you've just come back off the win in the treble, the players, like I said, the Gavardiols, Dokus, they're going to say, right, let's stand up and be counted. But how do you think City approach this game? Because for me, Haaland is obviously a striker that him and Saliba obviously have their physical jewels, but he's been quieter this season. I'm not saying he's crap people before you get on to me. I'm saying he's had a quiet season. But you've got Julian Alvarez. For me, he's having a splendid season. He's now on set pieces, crashing in free kicks. I think if I'm honest, how do you see City playing with their attack? That's what I'm intrigued to see how everyone goes with, because you've got Doku and Grealish now battling. You've got Foden that's obviously going to play. You've got Alvarez. You've got Haaland, and you've got Bernardo back. How do you see them? What would you like to see City line up with in terms of that?
Yeah. Hey, listen, for this game, I would start Doku, man. Do you know what I'm saying? If you've got Ben White starting at right back, I would start Doku ahead of
Doesn't do well against pace, innit? Does not do well.
It doesn't like playing well. Listen, every time Rashford plays against that guy, he struggles. So if you've got a guy like Doku who's young, just wants to drive at their man constantly, that gives City a different avenue, man, because Arsenal, let's not act like Arsenal at home have been solid. Do you know what I mean? They've actually been better away from home defensively. Do you know what I mean? In comparison to at the Emirates. So I think that will give them a different dynamic there. I think in the midfield, a few City fans have told me that it might be a pivot of Silva and Cover. For me, defensively on the transition, that is very dangerous for them to do that. Because if Arsenal play their cards correctly and drop a Kai Havertz and play, for example, Partey, Rice and Odegaard in that midfield, that hole right there, bro, outside the box, Odegaard's danger zone, will be very, very dangerous for them if they play Silva and Cover there. But on the flip side, if you do play Silva and Cover in the pivot, you can keep the ball a lot more. Do you know what I'm saying? You can retain that ball because these are what you call footballers. Do you know what I'm saying? So at least it gives that outlet for Doku because you don't need Grealish to constantly keep retaining and recycling the ball. You already have that in the midfield. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I would go with, man. I'd probably go with Doku on the wing. Foden, I'd probably play him on the off the right. To be fair, bring Bernardo Silva a little bit more centrally. He's more of a leader in this team right now as well. He can control things a little bit more from that midfield. Do you know what I'm saying? So
what are you going? Because Rico Lewis is meant to be starting, so I don't know if he's going to play him.
Is he actually going to start?
I've got a message about it. Part of people are saying it in the chat as well. So it's interesting to see if someone gets dropped. Is he going to put Rico Lewis in midfield with Kovacic and Bernardo there as a free, then play Foden, Grealish, Haaland? But Alvarez for me has to start. I don't know how someone's going to have to miss out. So let me.
Where's Alvarez been starting? Has Alvarez been starting on the right, or has he been starting centrally?
Alvarez has been sort of starting centrally, like just operating in between the midfield and Haaland, and I think he's been picking up good spaces. Let us know in the chat, City fans, what you'd like your starting 11 to be, because if Rico Lewis does start, it means someone has to miss out. But Don,
it does give a bit of balance there. Rico Lewis gives a little bit of balance. I know Daps isn't keen on it. I think because he's talking more of the physicality side of things, innit? But Rico Lewis is very intelligent. You know what I'm saying?
Especially for his age. Yeah.
For his age, very intelligent. So if guys can't get near him, then it could work. It could work.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm thinking of the dynamic because Man City, they always have Rodri available. So I'm trying to visualize different, do you know what I mean? Different things, and it's making sense, and then I'm like, oh, maybe not, and then it's like, do you know what I mean? So it's a bit hard, man.
I'm gonna let Jordan come in. I'm gonna let Jordan come in because the only thing I'm gonna disagree with you, Don, and that's why I'm gonna let them come in. I would not start Doku. I get your logic for potentially starting Doku. I don't think you're wrong. I just think I disagree. I just don't agree with it. The reason is that when you've played against Arsenal last year, Grealish scored against Arsenal at the Emirates last year and actually had a good game. Yeah, Arsenal kept quite a lot of the ball as well, and I feel like when City today have not got Rodri right, every time they get the ball, they're going to have to retain it because Rodri's that sort of player. He's the volume passer for Man City. He keeps the thing ticking over. And I think when you've got someone like Doku and Grealish, for me, Grealish's ball retention and able to win fouls, maybe quieten down the atmosphere in the first 20 minutes, it's more than what Doku will offer. Doku's going to get the ball and he's exciting. He'll get bums of seats. He'll take on Ben White and stuff like that. However, if it was me and I'm a City fan, I'm thinking, what you got to do today? First of all, they know you haven't got Rodri. You've got to get through the first 20 minutes and just survive that sort of Arsenal onslaught, which they're probably going to start when the crowd are hype. What can you do to take away that? Grealish, get him on the ball, winning them little fouls that, when he just falls over on the halfway line, slow the game down. What does that then do? That then frustrates the Arsenal crowd, and then City will just ease into the game after 20 minutes. And then there's nothing worse than on the 70th minute, you're then bringing on Doku against tired legs. So for me, I would go with it that way because I'm thinking if you start Doku and, his first touch is a bit loose, the game against West Ham away, even though he scored in the second half, the first half he gave away the ball for the goal and he was giving it away quite a bit. Like Arsenal will capitalize on them mistakes if City make them today. So I feel like experience, Grealish, go with that, and then Doku off the bench with the pace. But yeah, let's see what Romson does.
I hear that.
I actually think I put Doku on the right. I hear what Don's saying about Ben White and whatnot, but I think with Zinchenko coming inverted, and I do think City let Arsenal have the ball. I think with spacing behind and Zinchenko coming inverted, I'll put Doku on the right, as in don't cut in and shoot, just literally beat your man and get the crosses in. And I put Haaland in the middle and I put Foden on the left. Now my midfield three is Bernardo. Kovacic and Alvarez. I think Alvarez in that little 10 row in that pocket behind Haaland, he's been so effective. But the thing is where I worry for City today, right? For me, they don't have, and I'm saying this to Daps on the Friday night show, they don't have that ball winner for me. And the only one that remotely is a Bernardo Silva. For me, Kova's not really that ball winner.
He's not.
Mateus Nunes I might bring on to kind of calm things down because he's quite elegant. He can keep the ball. But for me, it's only really Bernardo. And if Arsenal hit them on the transition, that's the only guy that I can see really winning the ball back in that middle. But I play Doku, Foden and Haaland up top. I'm with Don. I don't start. I'll probably introduce introduce a Grealish and that, but I won't. I have to have Doku starting.
How I'm looking at it, Ty, yeah, I think they're gonna have ballers in that midfield that can actually retain the ball. Do you know what I mean? I think they need a different outlet on the wings, and then maybe bring in a Grealish at the end to see out the game. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. I think right now, I think Arsenal, I wouldn't say they're vulnerable.
That's only seeing out the game if they're ahead.
If they're ahead, but but the thing is, this is my view on Arsenal. They haven't convinced me right now, and at the Emirates, they haven't been, as tight as what they've been away. So I'm looking at it right now like I'm spending a bit of blood. Do you know what I'm saying? If you start a Doku and you start well, you can. This can be dangerous for Arsenal. It can be dangerous, but I fully get where you're coming from in terms of retaining the ball, Grealish. I hear it 100%.
Yeah, no, I get it as well. But I do think like you guys have said, I think Arsenal are probably going to have a lot more of the ball today. They're probably going to try to control the game at times, and I feel like the transition is where Man City is going to have to kill them. And we all know that Haaland is great on the transition, but Doku on that right hand side, or to be fair, I think he can play on either left or right.
I think
he's good on either side because I personally think the 1v1 battle is never going to be a problem for him against White or Zinchenko, and he's going to be beating the man regardless. I think it's just whether
Zinchenko against Doku. Oh my god!
I think it's as to.
He won't even be in position, Don. He won't even be in position.
Zinchenko done a madness as well. His mind might not be there. Do you know what I'm saying? He's done a madness last night. Do you know what I'm saying?
We won't get into that.
I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at what you said before. People think I'm laughing at that. Not at all. It's very sad. But Zinchenko.
I think that I personally think Grealish should be dropped. I think Grealish hasn't been that good this season. I feel like he's been he's just too focused on ball retention.
He's just come back from injury though.
And that's fair. I don't think he's been poor. I just don't think he's been that good. And I personally think that, I think Doku and Foden is probably the better duo to start off with to get the game going. But do you know what? I see City winning regardless. Like I just think this is one of those games that City have the upper hand mentally. I feel like whenever they go into this game, Arsenal they already know what to expect. And maybe not the Arsenal fans, but the Arsenal team know like this is a team that they just can't beat. They don't beat City very often. They haven't beaten in the last 12 games. So I feel like it's probably just going to be the battle mentally where City have already won it and probably they're gonna beat them regardless. So
yeah, fair. It is gonna be so interesting. Do you know what? I think it's the first time, and I said this to Daps yesterday, and he actually agreed. That I feel like I'm going into an Arsenal City game, and I genuinely today can't pick a winner. Me and Rob were saying it off air. Me and Rob were literally saying before we started the stream, like I'd be real with you. Like I think Arsenal could win the game. I also think City could turn up and win the game without Rodri, and it could also draw. Like it's just one of them games where, please, I don't want no VAR madness. I don't want nothing to ruin the game. I just want to see both teams going at it. But one thing I do think we'll see today, guys, I think we get goals. I do think it won't. I don't think it's going to be no like clean sheet or 1-0 or anything like that. Right. I generally feel like when you get big games in the Premier League, you always you hype them up. Like today, everyone's watching it today, and it's kind of like you get gassed, and sometimes they just flop. And me and Roms will be messaging like, "Oh, I thought this game was going to be better than what." Like,
and especially on a Sunday, that last game of the weekend, it's normally goals galore. It's normally goals galore. I just feel like today's actually going to live up to it, like 100%. I'm gonna go 2-2. I just same.
Really.
Yeah, 2-2. That's been my prediction all week. That's been my prediction all week. 2-2.
I just think it's that 100%. I just think it's 2. That's best. George, what are you gonna go with, George, for this?
You're muted.
Oh wait, you muted.
I'm gonna go 2-1 City. A draw works out better for me. So if they draw, I am more to it. I could do both of them drawing, but I just think City are gonna be too much at home. So. Yeah, I think they
George, you need a draw. If you want to be sitting top of that tree for the 2 weeks, you need a draw.
City are gonna win. I'd rather see Arsenal lose. So it's cool, man.
What do you think, Don?
I said the same thing as Jules on the terrace over there, 2-1. So I'm saying 2-1 City.
Okay, so I'll be damaging for Arsenal, man. Again, like you said, you just can't beat them without Rodri. George, I'll let you dip, bro. Big up for coming on. Yeah. Love as always, bro. I'll shout you in a bit anyway, yeah? Respect. Let me see if I can change this over, guys. Bear with me 1 sec. Let me see if this can run. See if it fits in. Oh, 4 people. No, you don't. You want to move mad? 1 minute. Do. 4 man. Yeah, calm. Can you hear me, man? You, man, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's I'll leave it like that for a sec. But yeah, Liverpool. Roms, talk to me about
Listen,
We're not going into Chelsea. We're going straight into Liverpool.
Go on now, Chu. Go on. Let him land on Chelsea. Should we let him do Chelsea?
no. Don needs this piece still. He does.
Two in a row. I
want Jude here for this one, man. But listen, yeah, man. Yesterday, the first half. To be honest with you lot, I wasn't impressed. You know what I'm saying? It was basically the same thing I've been seeing all season, like in terms of moving the ball very slowly. People not creating those angles that you need to be seeing when you're trying to, build from the back and actually have that real attacking intent. I think Cole Palmer was trying in the first half. He was trying to actually come into the pockets. Him and Gallagher kept alternating. So Gallagher started a bit further up yesterday. And Gallagher kept finding himself on the right-hand side where Palmer was playing. And then Palmer was dropping into the midfield. But the only person really that looked like he was on doing anything was Sterling in that first half. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, we conceded. It was
such a weird player, Don, man.
Weird, bro. But this is... Me and Roms have spoken about him and Daps. I've always said I prefer Sterling on the left. Do you know what I mean? For me, for someone that actually plays on the wing when it comes to banging ball and that, and in the midfield, when you're playing as a left winger and you're right-footed, bro, when you cut in, you can see more of the pitch. You've got wider view of the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So your end product usually is a lot better. Whereas when you're playing on the right wing and you're right-footed, bro, when you cut back a lot, you're seeing less of the pitch, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So for me, Sterling always looks better on the left, innit? And he was actually quite good, man. He helped us get that goal just before halftime. Again, we were shit, man. We were shocking in that first half, but he helped us get that goal. And then in the second half, Poch made a few tweaks that I wanted, man. He brought on Jackson. Brojo was very poor. There's certain games when...
Don, can I just jump in this bit? Yeah, because obviously I was speaking to you during the game. That's the 3 p.m. game I watched the 90 minutes of. And this is how for me, it's still confidence with Brojo. I feel like he's even going into certain challenges. When you've had a long-term injury, he's going into certain challenges a bit cautious because, Don, you remember, I don't think Match of the Day showed this. Remember when you broke and he went on that run and he kept cutting in, then he ended up losing the ball. I was like, this is a man now that he still needs to build up his confidence because I agree with you. I think Brojo was poor first time, and this is a player I rate. But a player I want to give his flowers before we go in the second half. Yeah. And I'm starting to admit, if I get something wrong, I hold my hands up. I still don't rate him that high, but the sassy, bro. For me, he's come on leaps and bounds from that first game against us.
He's gone under the radar, he's not under the radar. That means you're doing something right. You don't need to be the biggest player on the pitch. When you're quietly gone under the radar, like Gavardiol, you're doing your thing.
Another thing I'll say, which me and you said the last couple of weeks, Thiago Silva wasn't dwelling on the ball. He was splitting lines. He was playing it a bit quicker. I wouldn't say the first 20 minutes, but as the game progressed, he started to play it a bit quicker.
But for me, I think you're right, Roms, with what you're saying. I think obviously Broja, he needs to work his fitness back. He needs to work his minutes back, his confidence back. But there's certain games where they just suit better, like other players. Like Jackson in this game, it suited him more because Burnley were playing a bit of a low block. It was like a mid to low block. You get what I'm saying? Jackson, we know how he plays, innit? He wants to get in between the pockets. He wants to drop a little bit deeper. He wants to link up with other guys. Broja's not really like that in a way. He can link up, but he's not as good as doing it as Jackson. And then Jackson came on at halftime. And then you guys saw, Sterling, he managed to win that penalty for us. Palmer buried it, very, very good penalty.
Yeah, penalty taker now then.
Yeah, he's most likely going to be our penalty taker, it looks like, because Enzo, he wasn't as confident against West Ham, if you guys remember.
FPL, he's in my FPL. Palmer.
No, don't bait it out. Don't bait it out, man. 3 assists in a row now. 3 assists in a row now for Palmer, But yeah, man, Palmer, and then Sterling, he got that third goal. Obviously, Caicedo broke up play. Caicedo was brilliant yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, he was. You know what? He was. He was excellent. I'll say, Don, you said first 20 minutes, first half, you weren't as impressed. I think he was your one constant. From minute 1 to the end, he was breaking up everything. He was recycling the ball. I think that's the one player from start to finish that was excellent.
Caicedo and Sterling, I would say from minute 1, they were the ones that were really good. Palmer, to be fair, I would put him in there as well. He was good as well.
I feel like he's building that sort of. I know Mudryk was out, but that front six, it feels like Gallagher, as much as people want to doubt him or whatever, Poch likes him. He leads by example. Like Lampard said on Monday Night Football, he comes in and wants to give 100%, and he kind of sets that bar because he gets Chelsea. And when you've got new people that have come into the club from other leagues and stuff like that, sometimes you just do need someone that's been around Chelsea that kind of just gets the club like that. And that is why, obviously, he's captain in the club at the moment. Not saying that I rate him, but sometimes you just need a blend to make sure the balance is right. And at the moment, he's got Gallagher, Enzo and Caicedo in there. He's got Broja or Jackson. He's obviously got Cole Palmer who's locked in, and it looks like Sterling probably over Mudryk for experience. But at the moment, it looks like he has got.
Now Mudryk because he picked up a knock against Fulham. That's the reason why.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He picked up a knock. But obviously, I think it probably would be Sterling over Mudryk probably anyway. Even though Sterling, he missed the last game with that flu, but I think Sterling will play because the experience and the start he's had this season. But it seems like obviously Colville, Thiago Silva, Dizazi, and obviously I know right back Cucurella is playing at the moment. And big up to him filling in.
He was getting quietly yesterday, bro. There was an 18-year-old winger at Burnley. Yeah,
the mixed race guy.
Yeah, bro, he was cooking.
He had to fill in, and as much as Cucurella, you might not have liked him yesterday, he's had to fill in. But I think when he goes out, your team is kind of like, it's kind of getting set. He's sort of starting to build that sort of 11 to 15, I feel, Don. And at the moment, this is how I look at it with Chelsea, right? Yes, they've started a bit poor this season, same as Man United, but sometimes all it takes is a couple wins just to get the confidence going. And Arsenal, I'm not even trying to bring you back into this conversation, right? But it's gone under the radar. Don, you know what's coming. If Arsenal lose today, their first game back after the international break is Chelsea at the Bridge, 5:30 Saturday night. Bro, both of you man are coming down to Brentford for the show. That's Saturday.
Yeah. And in the evening, I'm at the Bridge. I'm there.
Yeah, in the evening you're at the Bridge. 12:30 kickoff is the Merseyside derby.
Do you know one thing I'll say? Yeah, I hear what you're saying because Arsenal lose today, first game back against their arch rivals, and but Chelsea I still think we're doing a bit. I hear you, but I still think we're doing a bit too much. I think at this moment in time, Arsenal are just that goal better than Chelsea. I still think, cool, even if Arsenal lose today, they go to the Bridge.
I don't think you land bombs, but I don't think
it won't be a battering. I'm not saying Arsenal go to the Bridge and white the floor, because even when they've won at the Bridge recent years, they've not really battered Chelsea. They'll just get the job done. But I still think, even if Arsenal lose today, I just think because the golfing class, there's a golf class in my opinion. I still think they'll.
In what area? In what areas? When you say there's a golfing class, in what areas on the pitch?
I think forward line. I think that's a no-brainer in my opinion. I know obviously Palmer and Sterling have started to play with recently, but I think forward line. I still think on Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus. I think
how have they been performing this season? How have they been performing this season?
Not that well, but sometimes you need that game. Because to be fair, I don't think Dumfries have even started a game this year. I actually don't think they've started a game this year, but I still think they will just have a bit too much. I'm not saying Arsenal will guarantee to win. I'm not saying Arsenal are guaranteed to win, but I think we're giving Chelsea a bit too much credit. I think John will agree. Yes, they've won their last 2 games, and that will build confidence. And that's nice of a Chelsea fan because how the way they started. But I think after that run, and I think Don will agree, Chelsea needed to go on a run from the start of the season till now, because these next 7-8 games is we're really going to see where Chelsea's at. Really going to see where they're at. But I think that game back from the international break, Arsenal still
I genuinely would not be surprised after the international break if Chelsea, a 5:30 kickoff at the Bridge, beat Arsenal. I know Arsenal were good. I'm not disrespecting Arsenal, bro. I'm not.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
But I just feel like if Chelsea turn up at 5:30 and they've got that back four, and you know Casedo's still there, Enzo's still got quality there.
Reece James and Gusto are back as well. Badiashiel's back.
Yeah, if they're back, like I know that the up front, I agree with you. Obviously Sterling's there, and you got Cole Palmer. It's a big game for him. We have to step up and see. And then obviously you've got the up front situation where I don't think Broja and Jackson are clinical yet. But it wouldn't be a shock to me. Arsenal should, on paper, if they want to go for the title and Arsenal want to be having aspirations of challenging City, they've got to turn up at Chelsea and win that game. Arsenal have got to do that. But it would not shock me if Chelsea, after a couple of victories now, just have the confidence and they go and get a result against Arsenal. I don't know. Don, how do you feel?
You know what I would say?
Yeah.
Quick, just before you go on, the one thing I'll say, I would agree with you, Ty, if we didn't have the international break. If Arsenal lose today and Chelsea have the back of 2 wins, you have that momentum. But I think the fact we have 2 weeks, I think that just leans more into Arsenal's favour. But you could be right. You could be right. But I think it would benefit Chelsea more if they were playing Arsenal next Saturday at the Bridge. After, let's say if Arsenal lost today. Do you see where I'm coming from? Go on, Don.
How I look at it right now, is that Poch has started to bring in different personnel, like a Cole Palmer, for example. That's allowing our team now to create more clear-cut chances. Do you know what I'm saying? Me and Abs have been going back and forth about Jackson. He's been criticizing Jackson, saying, "Oh, he's shit. You know, he's not good in front of goal." And what I've been saying to Abs is, bro, listen, you have to literally feed him. You have to feed him like he's a child. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's exactly what Palmer's been doing. Palmer fed him like a child yesterday. Literally put it on the plate for him.
And to be fair, Don, Jackson still had to do a bit of work. You have to twist and turn and get the shot off. So credit to him.
But guess what? But guess what? The reason why he was able to do that is because that's an area he's comfortable in. He's not comfortable trying to get goals from scrappy little cutbacks from the wing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then if you remember against Brighton, Cole Palmer again put it on the plate for him and Jackson buried them. So now we're actually creating more clear-cut chances. It's not just cross and hope, cross and hope, cross and hope. And when I'm looking at Arsenal,
Chelsea back now.
No. It's not about Chelsea are back. It's Chelsea. Listen, I'll be real with you, man. Yeah, I need a larger sample size for me to start saying Chelsea.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I said.
That's my view. That's
why I said 7 to 8 games are key. That is why I said we're going to see where Chelsea are at.
Yeah, that's my view on it. But all it is right now is that Poch is allowing certain players to now start to build a platform. For me, long term, I still want Silva to come out of this 11. I want Levi at left centre back. I think he's more of a weapon. He's more dangerous at left centre back because his passing range from the back is unbelievable, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And you're going to have guys like Reece James coming back into the team for the Arsenal game. You got guys like Gusto coming back. So that means that Cucurella should naturally go back to left back. Do you know what I mean? So when I'm looking at Arsenal, bro, I know you're saying that they're guaranteed more goals because we've seen more of their attackers score more goals. So naturally, you're going to say they've got the proven attackers. But if you look at them this season, bro, Martinelli hasn't been great. Saka, I know he's been getting the GNA overall over 90 minutes.
He might not even be fully.
He might not even be fit for that game. Do you know what I mean? And
if he goes to England and Southgate says, I want you must start at 11 as well. It's crazy.
And defensively, bro, we've been very good. You know, now they're facing a team with Caicedo, Enzo in there. You've got some legs in a Gallagher if he wants to start the game because he probably will start that game as well. Yeah, it's not like last year where they were playing a midfield of Jorginho and Kovacic, bro. And even then, at the Bridge, they only beat us by a goal from Gabriel scoring a header. At the Emirates, they blitzed us for that first half. But in the second half, we were basically on top. Like we were playing them properly.
You know what? I'm actually looking forward to it now. Because obviously, when you lot come down for the studio show on that Saturday, we're going to be talking about all these games.
That Saturday is mad because it's even Merseyside derby, the early kickoff that game.
We're going to do the show by 12 o'clock. Slap on the game on the TV, but then like Don's going to be down for the Chelsea Arsenal preview. Man United have got Sheffield United 8 o'clock at night, and then Bouatsi fighting Dan Aziz. That Saturday is crazy.
It's gonna mad. That's gonna be a mad.
How I look at it for that game, obviously I respect Arsenal because they, number one, they've got the squad, and number two, they've actually got a proper style of play. They know what they're doing. But all I'm saying is this year they're yet to fully convince me in the league. As of yet, they didn't really convince me in preseason either. And again, if you play a guy like Kai Havertz, you're basically playing with 10 men. You know what I mean? If you want to bring him back to the Bridge and start him, that's like starting with 10 men. So that's how I kind of look at it. I don't think it's going to be...
That will be done. If they start Havertz at the Bridge, that's even worse for him because you already seen this guy's kind of a passenger. His confidence is on the floor. Imagine bringing him back into a hostile environment. It's just going to amplify. Do you know what I mean? So I agree. I do agree.
I think it'll be a good game, man. I think if you have, for example, Palmer starting on the right and you start Sterling for this one, that's still very, very, bro. These guys, when they switch it on, they can switch it on. We've seen, bro, Sterling yesterday was moving like the Sterling from Man City. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's not.
Yeah, he was just direct, but he weren't thinking about no intricate play for. Let me get the ball and just get into the box, whether it's a shot or cross. He was just
look what we said about Ben White. If you guys remember at the Emirates when Mudryk came on, for the last, I think it was like 15 minutes, bro. He was doing up Ben White the last few minutes. Sterling, he will have Ben White on ropes. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like, bro, we've got a team now to actually take it to Arsenal.
This is what I'm saying, man. Like, and that's why I'm not disrespecting Arsenal. I just think that, like DJ M1 here says perfectly, it's just going to be a good test for Arsenal because Chelsea are going into it with a bit more confidence, and it's a perfect time to play each other. Arsenal should be winning that. Like we said, balance the team, the confidence. The manager's been there long enough. Arsenal should be winning that game. But I wouldn't say if you gave me 100% coin, I would be like, I'll probably say, 60% Arsenal, Chelsea 30% and 10% the draw. That's how probably I'd split it. But it doesn't mean it's going to go that way. But guys, make sure you smash a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're just going to do 10 minutes max on Liverpool because we've got to get ready to go on Super Sunday. I've got Salah captain on FPL. I need him to bang. So, yeah, Roms, talk to you about Liverpool today. Your thoughts against Brighton, man. Solly March left back, apparently.
One thing I'll say is we win this game. I'm confident we win this game. But for me, there's just one change that I would have made, Klopp. What does Ryan Gravenberch have to do to get a start? Because certain fans wanted him to start. Is that, you know what, Elliot, for me, if you know me, I'm not Elliot's biggest fan, but he does come on and he does affect games. But in my opinion with Elliott, sometimes he gets into positions where he should just be doing a bit more for me. And I think this would have been the perfect start for Gravenberch. Perfect.
Yeah,
the other 11, I agree with. Even some fans might say Kanate for Matip because maybe running behind, you've got Adegringa, I think, starting, João Pedro, Matoma, you've got pace going behind. But I think Matip nullifies that. He's very intelligent. But for me, I agree with the other 10, but Gravenberch for Elliott, I would have done. I wouldn't introduce Elliott. But one thing I'll say with this game, I think we have to win it early. We can't leave this late because I look at our bench. We've got Luke Chambers, a young player on Jota suspended. Gakpo's injured. Now we've got enough firepower to still win this game because I do think we win this game 3-1. But I think we have to kind of win it early. I don't think we can leave this late because I don't really see anyone from our bench coming on and really affecting this.
Now I agree with you.
Ben Doak will come on. He'll be elusive. He'll be direct. But do I see him getting a goal or assist? No, I still don't think.
And where's he going to come on? Because he's not going to come on for Salah. He's going to come on for Diaz. He's saying then.
Yeah, because Salah will be amazing. Salah will not come off today, so I didn't even think about that guy.
Yeah.
And the thing
Salah's getting 90. Salah's getting 90. I see Darwin.
You know what? In that case, because we got a 2-week international break, I don't see Doak coming on then because you're right. He's not effective on the left. We've not seen it, and him cutting in. I don't think he's
90 unless he moves Salah central and puts Doak on the right and takes Darwin Núñez off for 70 minutes.
Yeah.
That's basically for me, Roms. As a Liverpool, I know I'm not a Liverpool fan. As a Liverpool watcher, that would be if Doak is to come on. That's the best solution to getting him on.
Yeah.
Or you take Diaz off, put Núñez on the left, Salah central, and then Doak on the right. Either way.
But the reason why I hear you, but the reason why I wouldn't want Salah central because he's been more of our facilitator this season. He's not really been I say he's not been our goal scorer, but then he's still been high in the metrics. But he's only behind Maddison in assists this season. So I hear your point, but 4 assists. Maddison's got 5. But
have you seen? By the way, wait. Have you seen this Brighton team?
Yeah, there's a lot of they've got Van Dijk.
Roms,
go on.
You could counter attack, bro. They're playing 4 defenders, and then they're playing Solly March and DM, and they're playing Matoma and Dingra, Pedro, and for bro.
And this is why I actually think we're going to let them have more of the ball because wasn't they even a team?
Pascal,
wasn't they even a team?
Oh, bro,
this is what I'm looking at.
Who the hell is Noom?
Noom? I've not even seen their bench too tough, but I was going to say this is
their bench. They're starting 11, bro. I'm seeing in the pivot, Gross and Noom.
No, Carlos, it's a new player from France, Carlos Baleba.
Baleba, yeah. Maybe some of these different websites they have different names for players. They'll add in the middle name. But still, but one thing I'll say is I think we're going to let them have the ball because Brighton dominate most games. Didn't they even go to the Etihad and have most possession, I think, last season or the season before?
Probably.
So I think we're gonna let them have the ball and literally just hit them on the counter. Of course we're gonna have our spell where we keep it more. We're gonna have more ball possession, but I'm confident today. I've been confident since last week, and I think because of the injustice last week, I think we just want to get that win from the international break. We just want to get back to winning ways. Yeah, we won midweek. The game I was at wasn't the best performance. Had more of the ball, which I expect, but we didn't really have that cutting edge. Klopp's taken Salah and Núñez off at half time, which was a big indicator. Look, you two, they have to start, but you two are starting, and we need them firing. But I think we win this game. But I just would have put Gravenberch for Elliott because he warrants that start now. Whenever Gravenberch has played this season, for me, he's played well. Yeah, he had that bit at the end of the Spurs game where, in my opinion, he shouldn't have tried to beat Van der Ven. He should have just dribbled it into the corner and shielded them off. Obviously, they've gone on to then score, but I think we win this comfortably. I can see a 3-1 win. And I'm not disrespecting Brighton. We will concede because Liverpool keeping a clean sheet. It's only happened once in the league. It's only happened once against Aston Villa. But I think we win this comfortably, man. I think I think
Liverpool get the job done. I think he scored goals as well, too. I think Salah scores as well, potentially. I think Núñez can get on there. I'm just basically going to be looking at you lot. Every time you're in a transition, Liverpool, for me, Don, just need to make the right decisions in the final third. McAllister picking the right passes. Darwin Núñez, finishing his chances. Salah,
he has to.
finding the gap. Yes, Soboslai, you know, ball carrying, taking the ball from one end of the pitch to the other in transition. I think this is a Liverpool game where it's set up perfectly for them. You look at the Brighton team, Veltman, Igor making his Premier League debut, Lewis Dunk.
I've watched Igor in a few games. He just looked like an accident waiting to happen. Yeah, bro. And you know one key thing I've missed out as well. They travelled to Marseille, which is a daunting ground, whether they're in Champions League or Europa League. We stayed at home. They might be a bit more fatigued. And I think we'll just have that. We'll have that too much. They're starting Ferguson and João Pedro, by my understanding, I think they've only started one game together this season, and he's dropped Welbeck. So they do have attacking threat. I'm not disrespecting them at all. And Matoma plays well against us. Whether it's home or away, he normally has a good game. But I just think we're going to have too much for them, and I think we just need to let's head to the fifth. I said don't say midweek, say Thursday night. All right, cool. Thursday night then. But I just think we beat them comfortably. They will be tricky, but we've got too much for them. I just want us to blitz them quite early, so then we can take a few players off, and then I think just manage the game after that. Then you can introduce your Gravenberch, maybe your Endos, which for me Endo's not been great, but just to settle things down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm confident.
100%. What do you think, Don? I'm gonna wrap it up. You get the last say on Liverpool. Think they win today?
Yeah, man. I think they win. I think they win today. Brighton, you know, when I've watched them the past few games, they haven't been looking great, man. Do you know what I mean? De Zerbi, he's very stubborn with how he wants them to play, but they've been making quite a lot of mistakes. Even against Villa were pressing them off the park, man, and they kept running into mistakes. So I think Liverpool will do the same today, man. Off the ball, I think they can catch them in certain dangerous areas on the pitch. And Liverpool, we know how they are in front of goal, in it, very clinical. So I think Liverpool will probably score a couple goals today, man. I'll probably say I'm gonna go as well.
Okay, I like that. I'm going to go 3-2 Liverpool. We're all predicting 3-2 or 3-1 wins. Just before we go, people, AMT says, which team of quality have Chelsea played other than Liverpool? John, do you want to quickly come back to that?
This is what people like.
That's what I think. No worry about They like
to move the goalposts. But end of the day, Chelsea, as much as, you know, the stats will tell you we've been keeping the ball and that we haven't been playing well. You lot can vouch. I've been on here every week complaining about how we've been playing. Do you know what I mean? The difference is now we've actually got players that we can kick on with, and we can carry on playing better. So as much as the teams that we've played haven't been the most difficult, you still got to get the job done. Do you know what I mean? Clearly, because we've only had we had 5 points out of 18 after the Villa game because we lost to them. We lost to Forest. We lost to West Ham. You can't look at these teams and say, yeah, these are guaranteed wins. You need to do your job, and we haven't been. But now we are. So we keep on.
And then we'll see. Actually, obviously, we've got the run coming up. So AMT, we'll see about Chelsea, and obviously they've got the big run coming up in October, November. But guys, big up for the super chat as well, AMT. Thank you, bro. Guys, have a blessed Sunday and everything. Obviously, Super Sunday is about to start in 20 minutes. We've got Brighton, Liverpool, and then the big one, Arsenal, Man City. We'll be back tonight with the evening show as well. So make sure you look into that, and then we'll have the pre-records coming back out from tomorrow as well, talking obviously all things football. And then, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it in 2 weeks after the international break. Obviously, Roms and Don will be in the studio for the Saturday shows. That's going to be a 6 Saturday, man. So make sure, obviously, we plug in that closer to the time. Don and Roms.
Me and Roms are going to be on Saeed TV later as well.
I'll plug that. Yeah, plug it.
Yes, for reaction. So, yeah, big upside. We'll be there.
Perfect, man. Guys, this video is going to redirect to Lewis's. So if you stay on, just say NAF raid coming over from Never a Foul. It's going to go to Lewis's live watch-along stream right now. So, guys, thank you for watching. Love you lot in the comments, and we'll catch you on the other side. Big up.
Up the Chelsea.